What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for lineups.com. Let's talk a little Thursday night football between the Bills and the Dolphins. Got us an article over here by Noops. Going to talk about some anytime touchdown stuff if you want to look at here in this one. We can look over. Line is sitting 11.5. There are some 12.5s out there as well in favor of the Bills. Might be 12.5 over here at MGM, maybe at FanDuel. I don't know. But definitely some 12.5s out there in the market as well. Total sitting anywhere from 49.5 all the way to 50.5, as you see here over at 365. Couple of injuries on the defensive side for the Bills. Milano's not going to play. Ed Oliver's not going to play. But the secondary is completely demolished for the Dolphins. I mean, just completely demolished. They're running third stringers out there basically trying to get this done, which is why through the first 2 weeks of the season, they are dead last in EPA per play allowed in the NFL. Dolphins defense has been absolutely atrocious for them in this one. I'll flip it back if you want to read what Noops is thinking. You can get a look here in this. Look at the current price at 11.5, 12.5. It's just not really my style to play these type of games, specifically not early on in the season where I don't really know what the motivation is going to be for Buffalo to keep their foot on the gas. You know, are you really trotting Josh Allen out there or James Cook out there in the fourth quarter if this thing is, 17-point lead or something, 20-point lead? I just don't know what they're going to do early on in the season here. If they're going to try to limit reps for those guys and make sure that they're healthy down the stretch. Of course, this is a team that has the aspirations of winning the Super Bowl. So, again, not really my style of bet. I'll scroll down here. You can see Noops like some Waddle and some Kincaid from an anytime touchdown standpoint in that. So, for me, I'm going to just kind of go about this in a different way. There is a lot of speculating going on here. There is kind of like some narrative stuff going on here. But for me, I'm going to play the under at 50.5. I'll look for this. The betting public likes to play overs. If this thing hits 51, even better to get in on the under. I just don't think the Bills are going to take a ton of chances in this thing. I just don't think that it makes a lot of sense on a short week to get out there and just let it all hang out. They're going to win the game, but basically what I'm saying is I think you get to the fourth quarter and you see them kind of slow things down, salt the clock, and just get out of there with a nice, easy win at home over, one of the worst teams in the NFL. So which kind of leads into two of the other plays that I have in this game because I'm trying to tell a story here. So my story is the Buffalo Bills win the game. They win the game handily. Now, does that mean 13 points? I don't know. Does that mean 12 points? I don't know. Which is why I don't want to play the spread as it is. But I'm telling the story of the Bills winning this game easily, which leads me again towards an under. And in that under, you find, and this is over at MGM, Tua just has to go into, hair on fire mode, chase mode, and just has to complete passes all over the place. Now, here's what I like about this over on pass completions for Tua. Dude, he will take checkdowns all day long. If you watch, Tua is A-okay dumping it off to Achane over and over and over and over again, specifically when they get into kind of the 4-minute, the 2-minute, and then when they're trailing as well. So really, really kind of like the handicap of if this is a secure Bills win, if the Dolphins have to abandon the run, then Tua over the 22.5 completions is telling that story of the Dolphins then having to play catch up, having to come from behind, and Tua, again, the way that Tua plays, he is built for an over on completions in a game that he's losing at margin. He's built for that. Just Achane might end up with 5 dump offs just, on a single drive and stuff like that. So really like the Tua over from a completion standpoint. And then I'm also telling the story again of Buffalo not taking too many risks out there with Josh Allen, with James Cook, with some of these other guys. So I'm going to go to Ray Davis, and you can kind of see here, we'll go to Ray Davis's reference page. Last week when they had the game easily won, see that Ray Davis got 9 carries in that game. So now in a short week, in a game that they are supposed to win at margin, again, they're 11.5, 12.5 point favorites. I think Ray Davis gets at least this, if not more. 9-10 carries, something like that for Ray Davis. And if that's the case, you can see Ray Davis rushing yards is sitting at 23.5. So we got to get 24 yards out of Ray Davis. If we get our 9 or 10 carries, we barely have to average 2.5 yards a carry, right? In order for this to get home for us. If this game goes as, again, the spread dictates, which is a huge win for Buffalo, then I can see a world that exists where Ray Davis basically gets the majority of the carries in the fourth quarter as they just try to run this clock out, as they just try to get a nice, easy win and get out of there healthy. So I think we could see upwards of maybe even like 12 carries for Ray Davis in this game. He mixes in anyway, like he'll get 2 or 3 carries in the first half as it is. And then now we're just needing kind of like some of that garbage time stuff in the fourth quarter. And I think Ray Davis gets us home with all that. So I'm telling the story essentially of a Bills win in which they are not going to take the risk of injuring any of their star players as they go and try to win the Super Bowl. So, hey, under 51, they get the ball, they get the game in hand, slow it down, melt the clock, burn it, get it out of there. Don't worry about it. They're playing from behind. They're going to need to chase. Tua completions over the 22.5. They have to abandon the run. It's pass. Tua over on the completions there. And then to complete the kind of story that we're telling here, Ray Davis over on his rushing yards. No unnecessary carries for James Cook. No unnecessary carries for Josh Allen. Ray Davis comes in the fourth quarter and salts this thing away. So we're going to play the over 23.5 on Ray Davis. So that's how I'm going to play this one, guys. You can see some anytime touchdown stuff over here, over on lineups from Noops. See if that's something you might want to get into your account. I mean, listen, James Cook is going to score in this game. The problem is it's minus 175. So it's almost like you have to include that into a same game parlay of some sort if you want to do that. Just tell the story of the Bills, doing well, but I just can't play a standalone 175 on James Cook there in that one. Guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below. Let us know in the comment section how you are going to play this one, and good luck on all your Thursday night football bets.